Hey everyone! Now, today we get to talk about the love of my life, my most favorite person in the world. His name was Chad. I met him in 2017, the love of my life. He was a little over 10 years younger than me, never saw it coming. I met him through a friend, and one day he hits me up on Facebook Messenger. I didn't think anything really was going to come out of it, but it ended up being the love of my life and the man who changed my life. Chad was also an addict. Uh, about a month after we started dating, I actually found out that Chad had cancer. We were at his brother's house, and his brother told me, and turned and looked at Chad, and I said, "Is it true? Do you have cancer?" And he said, "Yes." What had happened was, now Chad's been in trouble with the police for drugs also. He's been in and out of prison because of drugs also. And he ended up having a testicle that was larger than the other. It had been like that for 5 years, but he never had it checked because, he was embarrassed. So he goes to prison and he finds out in prison that he's got testicular cancer. So they begin the treatments. I believe it was in Jackson, Mississippi. They begin the treatments. They remove one of his testicles and they go inside and they remove tumors from his lungs. Now, from what I understand, and I could be wrong about this, that cancer goes up. So it went from his testicles to his lungs. Well, while Chad was going through this, now mind you, for security reasons, his family, they didn't know anything about it at first. He was going through all of this by himself with a guard sitting there maintaining him. Now, he goes through the surgery and he starts taking chemo. And while he's down there, his paperwork goes in front of the parole board and he gets approved for parole. Well, when Chad comes home, he stops taking his treatments. You'd have to know Chad. Chad treated this like the common cold. I know that's just something that you may not understand. I didn't understand it either. Well, we had several conversations about him seeking treatment, and he wouldn't do it. Chad was on a death wish. I mean, he confided in me, and I believe even his brother, that, he got home and he Googled ways to die without suffering. I mean, he was on a death wish. And I don't just mean like suicide. I mean, Chad was out here screwing over everybody he could. He didn't care. When it come to street smarts, Chad could outsmart anybody. He was a survivor, not from cancer, but survivor of the streets. Uh, he so we get together and we have a conversation, several conversations about him seeking treatment, and he won't do it. He won't do it. He's treating it like it's nothing. Well, Chad was using needles to shoot meth, and he ended up getting cellulitis, which is, oh, stuff is awful. He got it in his arm right here. And when they went in and we got him to the doctor, I mean, he waited till the last minute. It had done ate all up underneath the skin. You can't really see it besides some yellow pus that comes out like a liquid, but underneath it does all the damage. So by the time he got in there, this was several days, he was in pain. And by the time he got in there, it had done all this damage to the corner of his arm. It was awful. So they done x-rays. And the doctor come back into the room and told Chad that they had bigger problems than the cellulitis. And Chad knew what they were talking about, and he told the doctor he didn't want to hear nothing about it, that he was just there for the cellulitis and not for his cancer. That he already knew about his cancer, he didn't want to talk about his cancer. His mom and I end up talking him into letting us hear what the doctor has to say. Now, before the doctor walks out, he tells Chad that, testicular cancer is curable, not treatable, but curable, which means it can go away if you catch it in time and do what you're supposed to do. Chad just wasn't listening to it. The doctor told Chad that if he did not get something done, he was going to die quickly. So Chad wouldn't let us know or even talk to the doctor at first. Finally, we've talked Chad into letting us, kind of get an estimate about what's going on. And his mom ended up having to work that day, and I just happened to be there when the doctor come in. Well, Chad didn't want me hearing it by myself, so the doctor said that it was all in his lungs, and it was, he had to get it treated. Well, Chad had the surgery for his cellulitis, and it was awful. It scared me so bad. He quit using needles, and me and Chad were sitting down having a heart to heart, and I was like, Chad, why would I want to be with you if there's no future? If we're not planning for a future, then what am I doing to myself? I don't want to be with you. Like, what am I doing? Well, Chad finally agreed that he would start seeking treatments. So he was at first in and out of the hospitals. Memphis, Tupelo, Corinth. He was even in Boonville, Iuka. Hospital trips after hospital trips. At first, the doctors told us that they couldn't do nothing for Chad, that it was over with. And then when his health insurance kicked in, his Medicaid kicked in, oh, we have a fighting chance. So every day I'm leaving the hospital, going to work, going to my mom and dad's. My mom's cooking them supper. I'm doing what I gotta do here, head back to Tupelo, staying the night with Chad, everything all over again in the mornings. Chad's finally able to come home. There were several times in and out of the hospital like that. And Chad's finally able to come home. And he starts seeing a doctor in Tupelo for his cancer. Chad hated the living at first. He was them nurses, he was so hateful with. It was so embarrassing. He hated the living. I can remember one day we're at the hospital and he's just down in the world. He was just being so awful, just so, oof. And I can't even remember what the discussion was about, but his mom was sitting next to me over on the chair, over on the love seat, and he has his mom in tears. And she's crying. I don't know. I couldn't take it no more. I looked at him and I said, Chad, look what you're doing to your mom. Like, stop. This is enough. And he had the audacity to tell me that he didn't care if I jumped out that damn window. When he said that, I said, I do everything I can for you. Your mother does everything she can for you. We're sorry you're dying. At least you're getting the opportunity to make amends with people before you go. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. It's death and that's it. You get the opportunity to make amends with everybody. And, I'm tired of it. I can't deal with it anymore. We still go on living even after you're dead. We still have to deal with the pain. You're dead. It's over with for you, but we have to learn how to live without you. Like, we're suffering through this too. And I told him, I said, you're going to die, a very lonely man. And I walked out. Chad tried to call, got out to my Jeep, and the darn thing wouldn't crank. I cannot believe it. I was leaving. Next thing you know, on my phone, Chad's calling. His mom called, and I answered the phone. and it was Chad. He asked me to come back up there. I told him if he was going to be mean or embarrassing anymore, I was walking out of that room. Well, he come home, and Chad started doing treatments. But like I said, he was screwing over everybody he could, and I was going right behind him, making it right. Chad finds out about it, and he's like, why are you doing that? And I said, because I'm not that type of person. I don't do anybody no wrong. I believe in karma. Karma is it's a very bad thing. It can be good or bad. Well, during this time, my dad had heard so much bad stuff about Chad that he didn't even want Chad at his house. There was no way in hell he was having Chad at his house. I told Chad, I said, you're about to meet the best man you will ever lay eyes on or ever get to know. I said, but two things you do not do. You do not steal from him, and you do not lie to him. I don't even care if it's about me. Don't ever lie to him. Chad and my dad developed a very good relationship. That Chad thought of my dad as his dad. Definitely. Chad was the only person in my mama's house that I know of that could go to the cabinets and not get cussed out about what they were doing. He'd come in and out of their house, it didn't matter. They loved Chad. We all loved Chad. Chad started doing treatments, and he ended up losing his hair. But Chad started changing. The sad thing about it was, it seemed like when Chad started to care about living, it was too late. I'm going to end this video right here, right now, and continue it in the next one. I love y'all. To the addicts out there, don't give up. Keep pushing. And to the ones who love the addict out there, don't give up. They need you. Keep pushing. I love y'all. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. And I'll see y'all soon.